Hello everyone, this is Tony Mills from Energetic Wisdom Soul Whisperer, and today I'm going to talk about the spiritual causes of scoliosis. There are obvious physical conditions, including the idiopathic unknown reason for scoliosis, but there's congenital birth defects can do it. There's any damage to nerves, such as cerebral palsy. You can have trauma, fractured vertebrae, deep scarring. You can have compensation with a longer leg than the other. So what I've done today, I'm talking more about the spiritual cause of it. And I brought a friend along today. He's called Woody. This is Woody. I'd say hi. And I'm able to illustrate some of these conditions with Woody. He's quite happy to help. So I'll turn him around. Now, this rod could be a good reason for any discomfort with Woody, of course, but we're going to try and ignore that. The point is there's some deviation early on in life from the masculine and feminine. So there can be a pull to the right from the father, perhaps, okay, and a pull to the left from the mother. And if there's any domination, it'll be a lot of pressure on one side more than the other. It's made worse with adolescents, because adolescents can be very self-conscious. A good example of that is girls, if they're very tall, okay, and they'll want to try and keep down because they feel very self-conscious about it. The main thing too is that there's very often trying to please one of the parents, and if you're being pulled either way, this will happen. There'll be a distortion, okay? You'll get that kind of situation. And you'll find that very often there's some kind of domination from one parent which pulls one to the other, and you're left with feeling of shame. This is very common. Now, if there's no pain or discomfort, you have scoliosis and there's no pain and discomfort, then I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's when there's pain, then body is talking to you, and that's where we've got to go. We've got to address any pain, discomfort, because that's how your soul communicates, is discomfort. For you to realize there's something in your life that's not appropriate. And that's where, when we address the emotions, it can make a big difference. Now, of course, if someone has had come to me in the later years and they've had it from childhood, that things can get a bit set in there. But it can still make a difference over a time to release a lot of the emotions, because of course if someone was born like that and you immediately straighten them out, how do you think they feel? Terrible, actually. So it is perhaps it can take a bit of time. However, we don't need to suffer. That is the limit, really. If it's a lower back problem, if it started in the lower back down here, then there's a lack of support in one's life, okay, especially financial, actually. And here, if the curve is at the top end, you know, then it'll be more like, let's see, like that at the top end. It'll be more like burdens, responsibilities. That's where it's come from. And if the curve is to the right, if there's a pull to the right, is the male affected by the father. Male to the left, pull to the left, it's affected by the mother. And of course, very often with scoliosis, there is also a twist as well in the upper body. So we've got that curve. Not only that, you're going round and forward. don't know if this is ideal to illustrate this, but it'd be better with a diagram. But you not only do you go to one side, but also there can be a curve round forward. And when you're drawn forward, there's more influence to the right from the male side, to the left from the female side. So the whole configuration can be altered, of course. If you think about it, we're on the sacrum is your base. The sacrum is at the base here. And if that's out of line, the eyes and ears are designed to keep level, okay? So if there's a curve here, eyes and ears try and keep level, you can see what's happening to the neck. Okay, so you could reverse that, right? Say you had a neck problem, okay? Eyes and ears are designed to keep level. So look what's happening down here. So this is the connection with the cranium and the sacrum, right? So it can start at one end or the other, but if it becomes chronic over a long time, then we have a problem. And very often there can be also a twist to the head. So the head will be restricted one way or the other. So we're then adding different complications into our life. So someone comes with a neck problem, okay, or a lower back problem, and you can see how the whole system is connected. But behind all these areas are feelings, okay, and the feelings very often, someone very basically, someone's a pain in the neck. So you continually draw people with a pain in the neck. But going back to the scoliosis, if there's been a domination from one parent to the other, you tend to attract then perhaps a dominating partner. That can happen because the program's still running in you. You actually are great, you're fine. But it's a program. Even in birth, you can have when there's a problem at the fetal stage, there can be, when there's big problems with your mother, you'd feel that, okay? And it could even start there, even back to ancestrals. And the birth itself can create problems. And then we have the trauma, which repeats through your life, that trauma. It's like the epicenter of an earthquake. So there's the body carries so much trauma, but it's all interconnected, and there's a theme in our lives, and the theme is being generally with scoliosis, it's being pulled both ways, okay? Perhaps being drawn. It's almost like someone's pulling this arm and someone's pulling my hips. That's how it is. And if you're in between, as a child, you're in between arguments with the parents and you're trying to keep it happy, you're pulled both ways. And not only that, as an adolescent, you might rebel to go completely the opposite way to the way things should be, because you're rebelling against this whole program, and you may not go the ideal way. And that's what happens with teenagers. Most teenagers say, they're always rebellious. Well, yes, they do, because it's from the parents' program they're trying to rebel from. That's just the thing. But they may then take the wrong path. They go to the other extreme. So if we are talking about extremes, so what we want to do is to get harmony and balance in our body. The main purpose in our life is to have balance. And the body really is good to reflect and out of balance. None of us perfect. I have things going on in different places because there's a lot I've inherited. There's some we've perhaps got to live with. But there's quite a bit we can work on the programs, and this is where I go. I find out and give you back your power to clear your own problems by finding out what is causing this. Where is it coming from? Because we've got quite a few clues here in our body in the way we're pulled, literally, or pushed, okay? And hi everyone, those I can see you there, nice to see you in watching here. If there's any questions, you can come back to me in the comments. And also, if you want to take this further, and find if we can deal with any of the programs that are causing this discomfort, then things can change. We don't need to suffer. I do believe we can change a lot in our lives. You know, when we take responsibility for ourselves, and what I do is I can douse and find out the reason why things are happening and whether you need to live with it anymore. And very often, many of them can be released. So if you go to my website, Energetic Wisdom, hyphen.co.uk, and I do have other videos as well, so look those up as well. But there's a lot I believe that we can alter. And let's look from, it's your turn this time. Okay, this year I feel it's your turn. Many of you want to help others, going back to the spine. Some of us bend over backwards to help others. Okay, that's another clue. It's time for yourself now. It really is, and this is what I really believe. And this is, if I can help in any way, I'm quite happy to do that. So thanks for watching, and all the best till next time. Bye.